You're listening to the Zone Coverage Football Show, where opinions, passion, and pride are always on the line. Live from Teese Towers, here's your host, Mark Teese.
Hello. It's finally here, folks. NFL Sunday. The smell of pigskin fills the air. Rejoice, cartwheel, whatever it is you do that when you get excited. Dodgy start to this program, but hey-ho. Anyway, episode 6 of the Zone Coverage Football Show. Mark Teese here, as always, on the new extended show, 4pm till 5:30pm every Sunday as we head into the season. Get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way, top of the show, how to listen and all that sort of nonsense before we delve into the madness that is the show. Hopefully you guys will be calling in today. Don't forget, we had 4 calls back in. It's episode 3 or 4 now, so we need to crack that record today to kick off Sunday. Get excited, people. As always, you're tuning in, fingers crossed, via either the TuneIn app or the Spreaker app. If you're listening back to this, by the way, you're missing out. Yeah, I suppose you could say you're missing out. Bold statement, my end, but hey-ho. Just search any form of social media, Zone Coverage Football Show. You all listening back, you're probably doing that via iTunes and Stitcher. You can find us on Facebook. Oh, I've got beeps already. Some weird reason I forgot to turn my Wi-Fi off on the iPad. Anyway, so excuse any random beeps. Where was I? Yeah, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter is Zone Coverage FS. Tweet at me today. Get those tweets coming in. I'm going to be checking in on Twitter as often as I can, really. I want to get this show up and running. I want to feel the excitement, the banter, and the usual tweets and that this morning have been fantastic. So I've enjoyed them. Thanks to everyone that's got in touch. And let's say 140 characters is not enough for you guys to rant and rave or praise or whatever you want to do. Email me. It is zonecoveragefoootballshow@mail.com. Title it whatever you want. And if you are listening via the Spreaker app, by the way, there's a funky little chat room feature on that. And someone's just popped up here. Adrian Doman. Can you answer the question on air? Yeah, here it is. Since the Ravens do not have a running back, Ray Rice, how do you think they're going to do against the Bengals today? Ooh. Give me a minute with that one, Agent. We will check back in on that. But proof that the chat box is up and running. I fancy the Ravens to top the Bengals, in all honesty, today. Andy Dalton's new contract and all that. Is the pressure going to get too much? He's looked very good in pre-season. But then the Ravens have new offensive coordinator. What's his name now? Kubiak. He does wonders. Expect a lot of play action from them. Bernard Pierce, I would assume, has taken over from Ray Rice. So we'll see how that goes today. We'll touch back on that in a moment. So if you want to hit up that feature, that is via the Spreaker app. Failing that, I think I've covered all my bases now. Yeah, tune in, Facebook, Twitter, email, website. Boom, website. Yeah, anything and everything is on the website. I've even created a new page the other day, basically giving you a rundown on the show if you're new to us, you've just stumbled upon us and all that. Yeah, what's that now? It is www.zonecoveragefootballshow.com. As you can tell, the excitement's clearly melting my brain today. I'm all over the show. All over the place at the top of the show. Wow, knuckle down, it's going to be a long 90 minutes. And as I've been tweeting out, NFL Sundays do not start at 6pm. I know you've got your game day morning and all that, but as UK fans, it starts here with me. Randomness, craziness, paper shuffling, utter nonsense, stumbling everywhere. Why not? Embrace it, enjoy. Let this be part of your Sunday ritual. Right, I want to get this out the way first. I run a competition last week. Basically, we were giving away a replica. That easy for me to say. NFL Duke football and a choice of a magazine that was from the fantastic folks at Football America. So massive shout out to the guys there that sorted me out. They give the prizes and everything. So, and everyone that entered, all you had to do was follow myself at Zone Coverage FS and Football America at F America. I believe that's correct. If not, apologies. Yeah, I'm sure that's right. I'm pretty confident with that one. So yeah, that was going on in the week. Picked a winner the other day. That was Alex McQueen at Queenie_1993. Hopefully someone from Football America has been in touch. either way, I'm still going to pass on your details to the contact I had, and I've got your email address. Anyway, if there's an issue there, just let me know, and we'll get those prizes on the way to you. Wow. That is 5 minutes of utter madness. Let's get to the show. What do we have coming up today? In a moment, I'm going to set the hot route. If you are new to the show, welcome. And the hot route's basically sort of like question of the day, question of the week. It's a hot topic. You don't have to stick to the hot topic. You can ring and just talk about anything. Absolutely anything. Something that's bothering you, something you want to get off your chest. Just hit us up. What's the number now? I'll give you the number in a minute. I'll just run through what we've got. Also, NFL news, bit of headlines from around the last week. If you've heard it before, just bear with me. Some of you might not be able to catch up with your NFL 24/7 like the geeks and freaks like myself. So, yeah. I did debut a couple of features last week. I had one called Trade Raid Aid. I'll go through that as we go on. I had one person get in touch with me regarding that. Love Line as well. Don't worry, I'm not setting you all up on dates and stuff like that. You have alcohol and Friday and Saturday nights to sort yourselves out at that end. I'll explain that as we go on. New feature alert. I need a buzzer like a horn. Goes, wah, wah. Anyway, yeah, new feature, Fantasy 5 at 5. Yes, and we delving into the world of fantasy football. Comes from Martin Forrester at Dundee. NFL is going to be ringing the show around about 5 o'clock for 5 minutes with fantasy stuff. Fantasy 5 at 5. Yeah, let that one sink in. Took me ages to come up with that, so I'm not really sure what Mark's going to come up with. I said to him in an email, the floor's yours, mate. Whatever you've got, advice-wise, tips, all that sort of stuff, just hit me with it. Then the reaction's going to be genuine. If I think his advice is awful, I will probably say so. And if it's good, I will be tinkering online with my a million lineups. I feel like everyone has asked me to be in a fantasy league this year. So we've got that coming up. Also, some game previews, a little bit of stuff that I found out. Give a bit of advice. Not advice. Insight. That's the word. Also, yeah, telling you who's on the TV. I'll do that now, actually. We've got Pats and Dolphins on Sky at 6 p.m. 49ers, Cowboys. I think that's 9:25. Colts and Broncos, if you're pulling an all-nighter like me, that kicks in at 1:30. And then on Monday night, we have the Giants at Lions, Chargers at the Cards, and that is on Eurosport. Now, I think that starts around about 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. there. So failing that, we all know the Game Pass and stuff like that. I did see people asking me about radio today. Are any of the games available on UK radio? I'm not overly sure on that. I think UK Endzone was involved in the tweet there. If anyone can shed any light on that, hit us up, Twitter, at Zone Coverage FS. And I'll tweet that out and try and keep you guys informed as we go. What else do we have? Yeah, a few mentions I'm going to do at the end of the show for the guys that have just been spreading the word and helping me out as we go. Right then, it's 8 minutes of your life wasted. Let's get to some pigskin and stop the random nonsense. Top of the show, the hot route. I do have a sounder for hot route. Just bear with me on these sounders. It gives me the chance to get me bearings, have a quick mouthful of juice, refresh, and then come at you with the hot route. So while Herm has a rant, I will have a swig of juice. Enjoy.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out.
So today's hot route, the number is 0161 818 4593. That is 0161 818 4593. Failing that, hit me up on good old Skype. What's my name here? Yeah, the name for the Skype account is Teece. It's T-E-E-C-E, Mister. That's Teece, T-E-E-C-E, Mister. Today's hot route, basically, let's go wild. First NFL Sunday, let's go bold predictions and stuff. There's no real topics that I want to talk about this week. There's nothing really jumping out at me that's not been done to death. Quarterback controversy, drugs, beating of people, all the usual sort of fallout and utter nonsense and stuff like that. So let's go upset of the day. We were talking about that earlier. I personally fancy the Cowboys upsetting the 49ers in a wild shootout later. Also, the Titans may be a good shout there for an upset against the Chiefs. You can give me let's go MVPs. Who do you think is going to be the league MVP? Just anything and everything today. Basically, the floor's open. I am a lazy host. I did not research the hot topic, hot routes enough, in all fairness. And we go into the phones early doors. Hello?
Is that Mark?
Yeah, it's Mark. Who's there?
It's Ron from Yorkshire, bit of a Jets fan.
Oh, hey up, Ron. Are you alright, mate?
Yeah?
What can I do for you today, sir?
Well, I know you're a bit of a Jets fan, so obviously we're a couple of hours from kick-off, so just your thoughts. How do you think the Jets are going to approach today? My feeling is that we have weakness at cornerback. We could go back to what Jets used to do when Rex first took over, using overload blitzers and things like that to get a lot of pressure, especially when you're facing a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I just wonder what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I think we're on the same sort of wavelength there. Yeah, I saw a weird stat the other day, Rex against rookie QBs, and we are, of course, referring to Derek Carr, who gets the nod ahead of Matt Schaub. Yeah, I can see him confusing him with a lot of multiple fronts and that, but if he does get time, our weakness, like you say, as our corners, he could expose that. I think my bold prediction earlier was something like 30, some at 24. But I've got this really dark gut feeling inside that today is one of them games where overconfidence might slap me in the face. Because for me, the Raiders have sort of mashed together this older team, and let's say some of these players have got something to prove. They might be edging towards the end of their career, but for me, there's still an unknown quantity, and I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know a great deal about Derek Carr.
No, I don't know for a lot of yards at Fresno State and that, but some of his Raiders have got a terrible record when they've got to fly to East Coast.
Yeah, the travel and that, and the early kickoff. Yeah, I can see that.
So I think that's an advantage. Plus, it's first week of season and we're at home. I think they'll be up for it today. I think we've just got to really try and put pressure on the young kid and run the ball really well, and then a bit of play action. Maybe Amaro and Decker might be able to get a few catches.
Yeah, who do you think's going to stand out today then? Are you interested in any of the rookies and Decker and that then? You've touched on him just.
Well, yeah, Amaro's a big one. Because obviously we've lacked a real genuine big target for a while. I mean, Hill's obviously not worked out. Obviously Pryor's the one. He's obviously looked good in pre-season. Obviously he's got that bit of swagger about him. Yeah. And obviously with weakness at corner, having a safety who's got a bit of range will really help us.
Yeah, I do like the addition of Pryor. Maybe, I know he's quick, athletic and that, maybe he can cover some of the weakness at corner, but he's basically going to have to pick his poison. Which corner does he leave and who does he leave exposed?
Well, that's why I think he'll put pressure on Kai. It's his first day, he's bound to be nervous.
Yeah,
so I think that's what we've got to do. Maybe we might press into a couple of loose passes which Pryor might be able to pick off.
Yeah.
Good field position, give a chance to establish the run.
Yeah, like you say, I think the confusing looks and that, he's going to see some stuff that he's never seen before. And for us, that's the key. And for the Raiders, the key is for Carr to remain calm, basically, and exposes. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very optimistic. I am, like I say, probably a little too overconfident, but it might slap me in the face, and it'd be bad.
It's the key on how Gino's going to progress.
Yes.
There's awful signs that he will do. But obviously, it's a passing league anyway, isn't it? So
yeah, I don't.
Teams with good quarterback play wins.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I can't see the Raiders running on us a great deal, in all honesty. MJD and McFadden. Most teams struggle against the Jets. Our run D and that front seven is one of our main strengths, really.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. It's I'm caught at the moment because
it's first week of season.
It's hard to read into it, isn't it? But the pre-season and all that. I did see progress. I think I mentioned that a few weeks ago now. I don't know. You've got opening weeks really hard to judge.
Yeah.
It is. Anything can happen. I know the Pats take on the Dolphins today. The Dolphins usually do relatively okay against the Pats. The Pats struggle. I think saw some crazy stat in September. That's when they've lost the most games or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, expect anything. And it's that good old phrase, isn't it? Any given Sunday. I know I'm probably not giving you the best answer here.
That's all right. We'll just wait and see. We're obviously anticipating there.
Yeah, we will do. So what's your Sunday ritual then? Have you been up the crack of dawn? Have you been like pacing around the house all day, donned in Jets gear, or?
I've just been watching England 2020 batting, and then obviously on Twitter a lot.
Yeah.
Probably ring my brother-in-law in a minute, Mr. Tongue Time.
Yeah, good old Toon Time. I know Marty's been tweeting and stuff. He rang in a few weeks ago, did Marty?
Yeah.
Has he twisted your arm to ring today and said get on the blower?
No, I'm not feeling today.
If he's not heard from him, yeah.
So, anyway, good luck with the rest of the show.
Oh, I appreciate the call, Ron. Say, I've known yourself, Ron, for a long time now via Twitter, and it's actually great to finally catch up with you and have a chat, mate. I appreciate the call.
Yeah. All right, I'll listen to the rest of the show and see you sometime.
Yeah, no doubt I'll catch you on Twitter throughout the course of the game, and I appreciate the call, mate.
All right,
yeah. Cheers, Ron. Try, mate. Bye. And that was Ron. He's, as you could probably gather, a Jets fan. Oh, my word, we're going crazy today. Hello? Hello? Hey, I can see you. It's Mr. Sweeney. How are you, sir? Hello? I can see, yeah, we've got a bit of technical issue. Can you hear me there, Ian? No, hang on. Right, Ian, you have to ring me back via a normal call, mate. No video call. We are still struggling there. Technical difficulties. Ian, I will call you now. It's just popped up. Bear with me 1 second. Very unprofessional start to today's show. Fingers crossed. Ian, hello? Oh, no, you've got a... Ian?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me? I can see you. You've got me on a video call, Ian. Let's go back to the regular call, mate, if you can. Right, I think I've pressed the button. Hello? Can you hear me there, Ian? I can see you. You video call me. Ian, regular call, mate. I'll message it on. Oh, it's going wild. Hello? Hello? There's something going... Hello? Ian, I can hear a lot of shuffling round in the background, mate. I'm not sure what's going on your end. Hello? Oh, dear. Ian, I'll give you a message, mate. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
No.
Hello?
Fuck's sake.
There was an F-bomb. Apologies if you do have children and you were listening there. You might have caught a random F-bomb, as clearly Ian is. He's struggling with some feed. He's calling me via Skype, and for some weird reason a video call is coming through. I can see him furiously moving stuff around in the background. And you've tickled me there, Ian. Apologies if anyone did catch that language there. And we shall move on. Ian, give me a call, mate. Try just a regular, normal call. That has totally thrown me. Right, I think we should catch up on some news. Oh, dear. I'm choking all sorts. What a frantic start to the show. I need to play this, sound it, and we will get to the news. Right then, let's catch up with what went on the over the course of the last 7 days. Very, very long time ago, it feels like now. Ryan Mallett was traded to the Texans for a 7th round pick. This could become a 6th round pick if Mallett plays over 40% of the snaps this season. Pats fans, I've not heard anything from the Pats fans, considering you're very well supported throughout the league, throughout the country even. Where are you, Pats fans? What do you think of this? And also, Texans fans, your thoughts? I don't really know a great deal about Mallett. A few times they've rolled him out in pre-season. He's looked okay, so let us know about that. Two-time mentioned this last week when we were on the air. 49ers, the end, Ray McDonald was arrested for domestic violence. The story there's a little bit twisted and wrong, and I'm going to leave that one well alone until we know a lot more about that. But with the new domestic violence policy, could be staring at a lengthy suspension there. So, yeah, that was bad news. 49ers fans who are decimated by injuries and suspensions at the moment. Not what you guys need. A few contracts this week. Alex Smith signed a 4-year deal, $68 million, $45 million guaranteed. Equates to around about $17 million a year. There's a few more. They're lower down. Yeah, the Rams claimed former Texans QB Case Keenum off the waivers. Gronk has declared himself fit, much to the annoyance of the evil hooded genius Belichick. Derek Carr, as you probably pick up on, he was named the starter for the Raiders. I think that happened about Monday, Tuesday. Good old J.J. Watt, who's an absolute animal, signed a 6-year, $100 million contract. My eyes worth every single penny. This guy is an absolute monster. $51.8 million guaranteed. That is the biggest contract for a defensive player, and that surpasses the $96 million that Mario Williams got when he signed with the Bills a couple of years ago. Brian Winters announced his retirement after 11 years. Spent most of the time with the Chiefs, 6 Pro Bowls, a Super Bowl. He's with the Pats and the Cowboys. Suspension-wise, Colts owner Jim Irsay fined $500,000. There's a few tweets about that being cash. If you remember, that refers back to a story back in, February, March, where he was a traffic stop, from what I can remember. He was driving under the influence of a concoction of stuff found with an astronomical amount of cash in a brown bag in his car. Very, very odd goings on there. Yeah, so he's been banned. Also 6 games they've dressed it up as violating the personal conduct policy. That was it, yeah. Operating a vehicle whilst intoxicated, painkillers and all that. He's apparently been battling with addiction. I know I make fun of the arrest and stuff, but battling with addiction for anyone, it's not a backtracking now, aren't I? Yeah. Anyway, addiction and stuff, it's not good. Anyway, he's been fined and banned. Minnesota Vikings right guard Brandon Fusco has agreed to a 5-year deal, $25 million contract extension. NFL media insider Ian Rappaport reported that yesterday. $6 million guaranteed. And then, where is it now? Pittsburgh Steelers, you handed Cortez Allen a new 5-year deal that will keep him with the team through the 28th season. Contract is worth around about $26 million. He was set to make just $1.43 million in 2014. That would be this year. Ian Sweeney, if you are on the line, mate, if you are still listening, hit me back up, buddy. I could see you on the good old Skype when you popped up there. I'm not sure what happened your end, but just try a regular call, not a video call. It won't come up. I'm not sure why. Plus, I have covered up the little webcam my end. You don't want to see my ugly face. Right, let's have a check-in on Twitter. That is Zone Coverage FS. Let's see what we've got going today. Brett Lovedale at Cow Yank says, have a great show. Leave the Cowboys Super Bowl talk until 4:30. I'll have to touch back on that in a minute. Alex Murray at Alex_Murray21. First time listening live. Looking forward to the show. Awesome stuff. Welcome aboard, Alex. And Brett Loveday has tweeted again 4 minutes ago, live podcasts, hey. Neil Dutton's done a bit of retweeting over the past as well. Appreciate that. Good old Huddle magazine. And I believe Tom's going to give me a ring later on as we go throughout this. So, yeah, get in touch with the show. 0161 818 4593. The hot route this week, just be bold. Bold predictions, expectations for your team's game today. I will run through the games in a moment. Ian Sweeney is trying again. Let's try this. Hello. Is that Ian? Hi Ian, I can see you again, mate. Let me just press this button, see if this works for you. Hello. Hello Ian. I can.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me okay? Oh, I can hear all sorts going on there, Ian. Are you there, buddy? Hello? No, we're still struggling with that, Ian. I'm sorry, mate.
You can't hear a thing.
You can't hear me. I can hear you, but you can't hear me, apparently. Check. Nah, he's gone. Ian, buddy, keep on trying. I applaud your commitment to trying there. So, yeah. As Ian is doing there, he's trying to call on the show 0161 818 4593. I'm a bit unsure. I think the problem might be your end there, Ian. So keep battling with that, mate. And apologies, folks, if that keeps popping up and it's becoming a bit of a nuisance. But adding a little bit of comedy to the show as we go. Right then, let's have a look at your Week 1 fixtures. We have the Saints at the Falcons, Bengals, Ravens, Bills, Bears, Redskins at the Texans, Titans, Chiefs, Pats at Dolphins. Again, the game on Sky, 6 o'clock tonight. Raiders, Jets, Jags, Eagles, Browns, Steelers, Vikings, Rams, 49ers, Cowboys. That's the later game on Sky. Possible upset on the cards here. 49ers got no D. Cowboys, as we know, it's nothing new to them. No D as well. I fancy a wild, crazy shootout here. Panthers at Bucks. Not sure what's happening with Cam Newton at the moment. There's rumours that he might be rested this week. Also, the late game tonight, Colts at Broncos. And then the Monday night games are the Giants at Lions and the Chargers at Cardinals. We will touch on those a little bit later. Going to jump into a new feature that I showcased last week. Still not made a sounder. Been lazy this week, if I'm honest. Did a bit of... I hit, what was it now, Monday, Tuesday, I was quite into the show, got a load of news down, did most of the stuff there, and I've sort of chilled the last couple of days, in all honesty. So if I have missed any news, and I do sound a bit all over the show, A, it's excitement, and B, I've been lazy from Friday onwards. Right then, this feature was called Trade, Raid, Aid. And the premise of this was, if you could trade for another player from another team, and you can't give up picks, I don't want to overcomplicate things, in all honesty. Not saying, give me Drew Brees, I'll give you 2 number 1s and number 2. No. Let's say you swapped Drew Brees for Megatron. Like for lies, talent-wise. Number 1 QB, arguably. Number 1 wide receiver. Stuff like that. Keep to that. And then the raid part, that is basically where you could go and get anyone. Plop them in your 53-man roster and away you go. And aid was basically like help a player out. Let's say they've been struggling with injury, dropsies, can't break a tackle, anything like that. Even extend it to a coach, whatever you wanted. So I did put this out to you guys, and Toon Time, he got back to me on this one. Obviously, you have to excuse the Jets-based theme. I'm trying not to do too much Jets homerism for you, but it's going to happen, so bear with me on that. And the fact that Marty was the only guy that got in touch with me. So do that at Zone Coverage FS. Just do Trade, Raid, Aid. So Marty went like this. He would actually trade Mo Wilkinson for Andrew Luck. I think that's crazy, Marty. I would not trade away Mo Wilkinson for Andrew Luck. As good as Luck is. No, I couldn't do that one. His raid would be Clay Matthews. He'd add Clay Matthews. I suppose if you trade in Wilkinson for Luck, then you bring some pass rush in with Clay Matthews. Sort of makes a little more sense now. And, oh my God, his aid would be some WD-40 for Kyle Wilson. This would enable him to turn his neck. Marty, I like your thinking there. Appreciate you getting in touch. So that is Trade, Raid, Aid. Bear with me on that. Just a feature for get you guys sort of interacting with the show. So if you could do that, trade for anyone of sort of similar value, raid, take anyone from anywhere, help your team, and aid, help a player out, stuff like that. So that is that out of the way. So I shall just check in again on Twitter. So, right, we are, 30 minutes in now. Just bumping back to Twitter again, seeing what's happening. Right then, just see that. Oh, just had a message from Tom from Huddle Magazine. He says that he will have some Cam Newton news at around about 5:15 today. So I appreciate that. That'll be good. So we should know if you are fantasy freak and in 1,000 leagues like myself, set your line up. I've just realised I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face here. I'm going to have to set my line up in a mad crazy rush at the end. Right, where are we now? Yeah, Ron, cheers. He says, thanks for taking the call. Jets to win by 7. So any more bold predictions? Who do you think's going to win today? Scores, anything and everything. 0161 818 4593. If anyone is pals with Ian Sweeney, he's been trying desperately to get in touch. Someone give him a Skype call, help him out, tweet him. I'll try and find your Twitter handle, Ian, and then if I can get someone test your equipment out for you, for you, and then get a message back, and we'll try and get you on the show, buddy. It's at Biffaroo Jet. That's at BIFFARU Jet. So if someone could give good old Ian a hand there, help him test out his system, and then hopefully we can get him on the show and see what he has to say there. So keep trying. Oh, I've got a message from me. He says he's dialing the wrong code or something like that. Rich Tinley 24 called in. I've got another call. Back to the lines. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Mark?
Who's that?
It's Biff.
Ah, I was just putting a call out.
I finally got you.
Mate, I tell you what, it's one of the funniest things. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I could see your face showing up on your screen and you were moving everything round. And I don't know
Could you?
Yeah.
I couldn't see yours.
No, I always block mine.
Do you? I was cracking up.
Oh, mate. I could see you.
My wife even came in to give me a hand.
Yeah, I was just... Fantastic stuff. As I was saying, I was just putting a call out saying contact you on Twitter.
I was listening to it.
Yeah, and see if
I had
someone
to turn it off when I was ringing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you've got through, mate. And
so, Mike, because it was cracking up.
The joys of technology. You give me several moments of entertainment. So
I know, because I've been ringing Rich Tinley during the week on by Skype, and I could see him. He could hear me, but I couldn't hear him.
Oh, right. Skype can be a bit of a pain in the rear end at times, to be honest.
Yeah, you sing it.
Yeah, oh, it's not good.
So how's the show going?
What can I do you for today then, Biff?
Let me see. My question today is, can you see any upsets tonight?
Upsets?
And how many can you see in the game?
Right then, I've got the fixtures in front of me. I did mention at the top of the show where I fancy a crazy shootout between the 49ers and the Cowboys. Both have got no D.
Yeah, so do I. And there's no Crabtree tonight either.
No, is there no Crabtree? Oh, I didn't realise that.
That's what I was told.
Ah, right. So I could see both Gore and DeMarco Murray running all over each other's Ds there. Des Bryant and co going to have a massive game. That one. I also fancied the Titans at the Chiefs. Tough place to go and win is in Arrowhead Stadium. That could be a potential upset. I'm not sure. I don't fancy...
The Vikings might be interesting.
The Vikings. Where are the Vikings now? Vikings at the Rams. Yeah, I could see that. Castle's got the start. Ante's got the starting gig there. Vikings, AP and everyone. It's hard to run on that Rams D, in fairness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is a phenomenal. It's probably rivals our Jets, if not better. And that, if I'm honest, that is a quality front seven. Beyond that, I'm not really sure. I can't see the Colts winning at the Broncos if Mathis is still out, isn't he? Is he, or is he back? I can't remember. It's one or the other. Giants, Lions. For me, that's a Lions win banker, basically.
Yeah.
The others are pretty even, to be fair. Saints at Falcons, Bengals, Ravens.
And what about our beloved Jets?
I'd like I said to Ron earlier on, I'm probably too overconfident with that one, and I feel that might slap me in the face.
I think it's going to be tight.
A tight game, yeah. What are you thinking? A few points, 4, 7 points, something like that. A last minute field goal, last second even.
Could be about 6 points, I think.
I do hope it's not that close. As much as I've missed football, I've missed it. I do not need biting the fingernails off first weekend of the season.
I know. But thank God it's here.
Yes, yeah, I echo that. I asked Ron, what's your sort of like build up to NFL Sunday? Do you have any rituals, Biff? Are you up early, dressed in your jet ski and stuff?
I'm up early every day with the kids.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No rest for the wicked.
This morning.
What time, sorry?
7 o'clock this morning. The little lad came in with his Spider-Man and his Hulk in both hands.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Good moments, though, with the family and that?
Yeah, well, we had a birthday party for him yesterday because he's 3 tomorrow.
Oh, a belated happy birthday, my end.
Yeah.
Ah.
And it was great because our linebacker Davis gave us a shout out.
Oh, did he? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
He seems to be a really good bloke.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a huge year this year.
Yeah, he's been talking, saying the right things for me. I think he called out a few of the Jets players a while back now, saying don't be too overconfident because, as what I was saying earlier, it might slap you in the face. Seems to be a sensible leader. Which I think they're few and far between. Some are a bit boastful. Some probably say the wrong thing at the right time. So fingers crossed we've got ourselves a good one there. Yeah,
and you know what? It's going to be interesting because we lost one of our offensive linemen to the Raiders.
Yes.
And he's been giving it loads this week.
That does surprise me. We are on about Austin Howard, who moved to the Raiders in free agency. Got a big chunk of change off him, in fairness. He did it. For me, I thought he was a good player for us. Very good. He was steady.
He was a good player.
Yeah, let's say...
But it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on with Richardson in front of him.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, that is, today. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing how Q gets on.
Yes, that'd be interesting. He looked good that third preseason game.
Yeah,
he had a very good third preseason game there. It's hard to judge, isn't it? This opening weekend, optimism, everyone's a Pro Bowler.
And this day is just dragging.
Oh, yes, I hear that. Going back then to your original question, Biff, what upsets can you see today? I know you mentioned like that you're with me sort of with the Cowboys. Anything jumping out at you? Well, any upsets?
I think it could be Dallas.
Yeah. I
think so.
Yeah.
Because the 49ers have lost a lot this year through the injury and suspension.
Yeah, it could be a big struggle there. Anything like on the season? Do you see like a surprise Super Bowl contender? I know it's maybe a little early to be calling these out, but just, I don't know, throw a team out there. Anything you could fancy?
Let me see. I think the Seahawks are going to be hard there.
Yeah, they looked good the other day, didn't they?
To be honest, they looked very good.
Yeah, I don't think they got out of second gear. Sorry, Biff, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well,
I was just saying that the Seahawks didn't seem to get out of second gear for me. It looked very, very easy.
Yeah, especially in the second half.
Yes, it was. It's their own backyard. They're going to be. If you've got to go through Seattle to get to the big dance, it's going to be a big ask.
And Sherman didn't even get targeted once.
I've got a bit of a beef with this. Richard Sherman, yes, he's a fantastic player. Let me get that out there right away. He's got Earl Thomas over the top of him, working wonders. But why not go after Sherman? Let's see what he's made of. Why not just why not go have a bunch formation Sherman side? I feel that they wasted Boykin. Why not just line let's go trips his side, run them all crossing routes. Let's confuse him a little. Let's test his metal. Let's see what he is made of. Obviously,
Green Bay's wide receivers never showed up.
No. Nelson had an okay game.
He did okay.
Yeah.
He caused an interception.
Yeah.
He's just okay.
Yeah, there was nothing special, was there?
Yeah.
I know injuries and missed tackles absolutely killed him, in fairness.
Yeah.
The injuries on the line, I forget who
Beluga.
Yeah, since he went down, that was it. Seattle's eyes lit up, and I forget the lad's name who stepped in, but yeah, he was tormented for the entirety of that second half.
He was muck.
It was, that's probably the best way to word that. Oh, Biff, I seem to have lost you, buddy. I'm not sure what's happened there, but Biff, I'm glad that you finally got through, and yeah, appreciate the call. Let's check back in on Twitter. Nice handling of we have a new hashtag every week. We've had Soundgate, Videogate is the latest one. If I can click on the right Twitter account, I've got so many Twitter accounts, it's frightening. Bear with me, where are we? It's now not uploading on me. Fantastic news. Right then. Right, where were we? Yeah, Biff, appreciate the call, mate. Fantastic. You know why? I'm on the wrong account. I was on my personal account rather than the show's account. Right then, yeah, Will Davies. Will's always bang on these hashtags. So we have a new hashtag this week, Video Call Gate. I think that goes with Soundgate and Echogate, if memory serves me correct. I will just jump to the little chat room on the Spreaker app. Dan Boy 55, he's Glasgow Celtic FC, random message there. Appreciate you getting in touch, Dan. Elaborate on that if there's any questions or anything like that. Hit me up. That is the Spreaker app. You can find that in all the app markets. Just search the show, Zone Coverage Football Show. Yeah, right. A hectic show. Bit flustered by the video call, if I am honest. Seem to have got over that now. Where were we? Let's go to the second news feature that debuted last week. That was it was the Love Line, and with the Love Line, gives me the opportunity for yet another drink, and for you to laugh and cringe at this opening effort.
Welcome to the Zone Coverage Football Show, Love Line.
Right then, that is the opening titles to the Love Line feature, and yes, it's not nothing iffy, dodgy. The music, my search history is very iffy because I was searching for 70s, I know there might be kids listening, so 70s movies with an adult theme to find the theme music there. So the Love Line, as I said earlier, it's not a dating service, it's nothing like that. It is what I feel the opportunity to give a little love, a little bit of praise. For who, you ask? Right then, we all know now the wide receivers, these corners are getting ridiculous money, quarterbacks, they're the pin-up boys, poster boys, the faces of the franchise and all that. We all know that now. They get all the love. What about the big guys, the guys on the D-line and the O-line? Without these guys, the other lot that I mentioned they wouldn't be superstars now, would they? They wouldn't. They'd be on the backside, broken ribs and all this sort of nonsense. So I'm going to read out every week, and I want you guys to get involved with this part, because I'll be honest, I am no expert. I am a fan like you lot listening. We're all fans of the NFL. I just come up with this idea to give like-minded fans like myself just an opportunity to come on, talk pigskin, have a bit of banter, have video call fun, all sorts of madness, just throw curveballs at me and make me look a fool. I am all for that. The better the banter, the more fun we have, and hopefully the better show I put out to you guys. So, yeah, with that in mind, and I've now sidetracked massively from what I was getting to, the Love Line is an opportunity to give out the big guys a shout out, bit of love. So, you guys, you know your team better than me. I don't know every single person on every O-line and every D-line. If I did, that'd be quite sad my end. I probably should know him. You could argue you're the host of an NFL show, you should know your stuff. Fair point, I understand that, but I want to learn, you want to learn. So if you've got some big guys that you want to nominate, send them to me at Twitter. That is Zone Coverage FS. Do a little profile if you want. It'll save me a bit of work. But no, I've got 2 this week. Just 2 guys. I did say I was going to do 3. I got a little lazy come Friday. I worked Thursday night, so I couldn't watch the game, so I watched it back Friday morning and did no more research. So the 2 guys I've got for the Love Line this week is, where are we now? Orlando Franklin. He is a guard for the Denver Broncos. Born in Kingston, Jamaica, he is 6'7", 330 pounds. Fair to say, a big youth. He was a second-round pick in the 2011 draft out of the University of Miami. He started all 16 games as a rookie, and over the course of the last 3 seasons, played 47 games at right tackle. I know it's a bit of little love, but if there is a knock on him, pass protection is a bit of an issue for the guy. So, right then, what happened? Yeah, he's been moved. The Broncos are not stupid. A lot smarter than me. They've moved him now. Where's he moved to? Moved to left guard. Mental note, Mr. Teese. Read your notes and be sure of what you're saying. That aside, yeah, he's been moved to left guard this season as the Broncos see him as an integral part in their rushing game, and he won't be exposed and pass protection. So that is Orlando Franklin, a guard for the Denver Broncos. We salute you, sir, for the fine job and effort that you do in protecting Peyton Manning's rear end. Orlando Franklin. There you go. Second up is Michael Roos. Born in Estonia, another 6'7" fella, 313 pounds, offensive tackle for the Titans. He was selected in the second round of the 05 draft, been to 3 Pro Bowls, the 08, 09 and 11. Excellent in pass protection. He's led the way, blocking and opening up holes for CJ2K. But could this be Roos's last year with the Titans? They drafted Taylor Lewan and also signed the blindside's Michael O'Hare for $20 million. So as much as an outstanding pro Michael Roos has been for the last, I can't do the maths here, 9 years. Yeah, 2005 to 2014, 9 years. An A for me in maths. Yeah, as Michael Roos' excellent career coming to an end because he is under pressure now at that starting spot. So we are giving you some love, sir, and maybe there could be a draft chip going forward. So that is Michael Roos and Orlando Franklin. That is the Love Line feature. Please, please, please get in touch with me regarding this. Nominate your guards, your linemen, anything. And we'll get the names out there. Everyone knows Megatron, Brady's and all that. Now you know Franklin and Roos. So if nothing else today, you've learnt that I'm a fool, a stumbling fool and a host, and that you know Orlando Franklin and Michael Roos, and you can impress your friends down the pub with that knowledge. Right then, let's move on. What do we have coming up now? We do have the fantasy segment, that is the Fantasy 5 at 5, coming up at 5 o'clock, of course. Before that then, I think I might get into a few game previews. We're going to reel through them as the lines are quiet today. We started off with call craziness, gone quiet. I can see my phone flashing up. A message from Biff. He says, thanks for taking my call. It was good to be on the show. Anytime, buddy. I am glad that you managed to handle good old Skype and that in the end. So again, the number, if you want to call in, is 0161 818 4593. The Skype is Teece Mister, TEECE Mister. So let's have a look then. A preview of the games. We have the Saints at the Falcons. Excuse me. And again, oh my word, this is it. And you can tell the excitement of the weekend. It's just too much. I'm all over the place. Right then, where were we? Saints at Falcons. NFC matchup. I don't know what's wrong with me. Someone's repeating on me. Not very professional today. Falcons looking to bounce back following a very disappointing season last year. Tony Gonzalez retired. Question: who now gets his targets? Julio Jones is now fit again. O-line improvements, you could say. Jake Matthews was added through the draft. Defensively, linebacking group, very, very uninspiring. Question regarding the Saints safety duo of Jarius Byrd and Kenny Vaccaro. Are they equally as good as the Seahawks, Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas? Could be a good debate. Hit me up on Twitter about that. Or do the Saints have a better safety duo than the Seahawks? For me, Earl Thomas is absolutely outstanding, but I am a huge fan of Kenny Vaccaro. And then I suppose it's pick your poison with one or the other. that I mentioned. So, yeah, that could be interesting. Thoughts on that? 0161 818 4593. Zone Coverage FS on the Twitter. So, yeah, we all know Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham. Be also interesting to see what Brandon Cooks does if he gets the start today. So, that's a really, really poor match preview. Anyway, let's move on to your next poor match previews. I'm only filling till 5 o'clock, in all fairness, when hopefully Martin will add a little bit of class to the show, if that's absolutely possible. Right then, it's all right. Just Twitter's going crazy at the moment. Crazy show. Right, yep. Back to Vikings at Rams. Matt Castle, as we mentioned earlier in the call, gets a start after a decent pre-season. Norv Turner, renowned for his potent offences, has turned around numerous QBs and tight ends, especially do well in his system. Cordell Patterson, could he have a breakout season this year? Kyle Rudolph as well. The Vikings, you could argue, have been very clever ahead of the season. Give him a big contract before he possibly makes the leap, jumps out, however you want to word that. The Rams, without Bradford, Sean Hill gets the start here. Feel for Sam Bradford. I know I was a bit harsh on him earlier shows. Just didn't believe in him, to be fairness, but it's not good to see a guy go out like that. And with someone with a torn ACL, I feel your pain. Except you'll get your operation before me. I've been waiting 6 months for mine. Went cycling the other day, actually. I went to see the physio, and he said, yeah, strengthen up your calf muscles before you op. I'm like, all right, and I did about 7-8 kilometre cycle. My word, my shin went blue and yellow day after. Not recommended. Bad advice, doctor. Thank you very much for letting me hobble around for the last 2 days in agony. Back to the game. Wow, what a show. Right then, where was I? Back to the game, yeah. Vikings, yeah. Can the Vikings, I know they've got a talented O-line, can they keep Robert Quaid, Michael Brox and co? Can they keep them quiet? That is the question that I've got for the day. And can Sean Hill get it done? The Rams, for me, the problem's Marty Schottenheimer. He's calls some absolutely ridiculous plays. He's just dull, boring and uninspiring. I feel for Rams fans having to put up with that nonsense from Schottenheimer. He needs to be out early days, but yeah, get him out. Browns at Steelers. It's a mess here in good old Cleveland. Josh Gordon's been, rightfully suspended. He's been a persistent violator of the policies. What is a mess is that the Browns never really addressed the wide receiving group in light of Gordon's suspension, really. It wasn't like a big secret, was it? It wasn't like, oh, by the way, it's going to be suspended now. We've been talking about this for what seems like forever. As we've been talking about the quarterback situation there, Hoyer gets the nod. It's thrown to Miles Austin. Can Miles Austin's hamstring even survive pre-game warm-ups? Never mind the game. Will he make it through the pre-game warm-ups? Mike Patton, renowned for his creative defensive schemes, a lot of press corners, and be dialing up some crazy blitzes. That part of the Browns team, I'm very, very, very excited to see. So that is something to keep an eye on. I keep referencing the book Collision Low Crosses, just because Browns fans, you need to read that just to get a feel for Mike Patton. Fantastic coach, you'll love him. Also, Steelers, a lot younger on D. Roethlisberger, because he'd be entering his final sort of few years in the league now before he starts turning down his downturn. Yeah, that's the better way of wording it. I fancy the Steelers, a sneaky sort of outside pick. Also, I mentioned the Lions a few weeks ago, but back to the preview. Yeah, Ryan Shazier as well. He's looked very, very, very good in pre-season. Antonio Brown, outstanding last season. Can he continue with form from last year? And the backfield duo of Blunt and Bell. Be interesting to see what they do. One would presume that neither is stoned for this game. And also keep an eye out for rookie Dre Archer. He's shown a few flashes in pre-season as well. Moving on quickly. Jags at Eagles. Chad Henne gets to start. I feel he's under a little bit of pressure, if I'm honest. As third overall pick, Blake Bortles, he's been breathing down his neck following a very impressive pre-season. Defensively, the addition of Red Bryant, Chris Clemens add quality depth to the line. the D's got the work cut out, really. Potent offense. Foles, he exploded onto the scene last year. Second season syndrome, you could argue. Will it? He's not going to be as good as last year, because if he is, my word, it's going to be absolutely frightening. Shady McCoy, we all know about. There's fast Chip Kelly offense, led the league last season rushing. Deshaun Jackson's now gone. He went to the Redskins. And Jeremy Maclin, he returns from a torn ACL. How will he fare coming off his return? A lot of pressure on him. Raiders at Jets, I think we've done that to death. I don't want to bang on about the Jets too much, so apologies Raiders fans for that. Where are we now? Did have an interesting stat on Khalil Mack. Yeah, he holds an NCAA record for the most forced fumbles. So be interesting to see if we can keep him at bay today. It's pretty much all I'll say on that. Bengals at Ravens. Interesting game here. What's his name now? Kubiak. Yes, that's right. Yeah, Ravens offensive coordinator now. Expect a lot of zone blocking and play action from the Ravens. No Ray Rice, as we know. Flacco last season threw a career high of 22 picks. And one for me, one of the best players that I love to watch is good old angry Steve Smith. How big a role will he play today? And the offense, he's got a chip on his shoulder anyway. So I think he's got a massive point to prove to the Panthers that, could argue, a bit stupid letting him go, really. I would have kept him just for his leadership qualities and all that. AJ Green, one of the best in the business. They got dynamic duo in the backfield and Gio Bernard and second round pick Jeremy Hill. Geno Atkins also returns to a D, which is finished no worse than 7th when it comes to yards allowed over the course of the last 3 seasons for the Bengals. Right then, let's get on to the Bills. And I'll do a couple more of these and probably touch back on them because I am expecting a call from Marty at 5 regarding the fantasy stuff. Bills at Bears. The Bills, they took out a quarterback policy and Kyle Orton. I feel that the Bills didn't read the small print. Kyle Orton insurance policy for poor old EJ Manuel, who's looked. I feel I'm going to do some bashing on EJ, and I don't want to be too harsh early on. He could prove me wrong, and if he does, I will eat humble pie. But yeah, the Bills are in for a rough year. But they can run on the Bears. The Bears had an awful run D last year. So expect big games from Spiller, Fred Jackson as well. Going to test the Bears' resolve against the run. Kiko Alonso was big loss for the Bills as well. Bears, they got weapons in abundance. One of the most talented groups out there, in all fairness. And also, another good one. Can Jay Cutler survive a full season? What can he do in a full season? I know I've heard on a few other podcasts that I've listened to throughout the course of the week. Is everyone else sick of hearing about Jay Cutler's potential breakout season? He must be 100 years old now. He's been breaking out for 99 of those. Right, moving on. I did have something else now. Yeah, a stat about that game. Yeah, the Bears have never won at Soldier Field. So, shocking quarterbacks and all that nonsense. Never won. Why not? Opening day upset. I suppose that would be a big upset. Would that be the biggest upset of the day if the Bills pulled off a win in Chicago? Redskins, Texans. This could be the battle of the bad QBs. RG3's looked pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick. There's no more say on that matter. But we've now got the ace up the sleeve, haven't they? And Ryan Mallett. When will he see the action if Fitzpatrick absolutely stinks? Are they throwing him in early? The plus for the Texans really is this D. Highest paid defensive player in J.J. Watt. Clowney as well. Also, oh my God, what's his name? Is coming back from numerous injuries now. Oh, mine escapes me now for the Texans. Oh God, what is it now? Brian Cushing. Boom, it's in there somewhere. Brian Cushing's return as well to the team could add a lot. So that could be an underestimated morale boost for the Texans there. What else have we got here? Yeah, Pierre Garçon, Alfred Morris, Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed, he struggled with concussions a lot last year, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on throughout the course of the season. Let's jump in on Twitter now. We have a message regarding a call, so that is good when I update. It says, going into was talking to this guy. I can't pronounce this. It's Spartacus Inc. At Spartacus Inc. I'm going to give you a call after 5 o'clock tonight on the show. Fantastic. So hopefully Mort is listening and he gives me a ring regarding the fantasy stuff any moment now. I'm not sure I should dive into another game preview, actually, just in case he rings. Sorry, let's do it. Titans Chiefs. My notes read, does anyone even care about these teams? It was a question posed, whatever. A few weeks back now by Neil Dutton. We have a call. This should be Marty. Hello?
Hello, Mark. It's Martin calling in.
Brilliant, Marty. So, bang on the button. Fantasy 5 at 5 hits us. Oh, dear. Are you still there? Hello? Damn it. Something happened then. I don't know what happened. Am I still even on the air? Oh, dear. You're going to have to ring back, buddy. I think I pressed my fat sausage fingers, pressed the wrong button there. I do believe we are still good there. So, Marty, I shall give you a ring back, mate. Yeah. Call again, Marty. I was looking for a sound effect, pressed the wrong button, shut everything down. He's ringing again. Hello.
Hello again. Should we give it another bash?
Oh, yeah, let's try. Today, mate, I am having an absolute nightmare. I've had video calls that have gone wrong. I think there was an F-bomb randomly dropped. Again, I tried press a button for you, closing down a window, and then just muted you somehow. So, yeah, this is the Fantasy 5 at 5. I made you a theme tune, mate, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but here we go before we jump into it. Can you hear that?
Oh, I can. I like that. Okay. I'm not entirely sure I want anybody to have me as their fantasy. That would be somewhat disturbing. But yeah, I like the music.
Yeah, it's a good old flashback to the early 90s with a bit of Baby D there. Yeah, I was a bit worried about that. Let me be your fantasy. It's got a weird connotations around about that, but we'll just keep a clean mind and it's fantasy football.
Yes, we'll stick with that. I think that's the best way to go.
Brilliant. As we said via email, you're going to be joining the show every week, a little bit of fantasy advice at 5, hence Fantasy 5 at 5. I know absolutely nothing in regards as what you have for me, so I'll let you take the floor, sir. And before that, I think we should introduce yourself to the masses, Marty. Give a little bit of info about you for everyone that's listening.
Okay, well, my name's Martin Forrester. I'm the host of the Fourth Down and Out podcast, the only Scottish podcast for anything NFL, and we love our fantasy on the podcast. The good thing about fantasy football is it keeps you interested in all the games. I'm a big San Francisco 49ers fan, but thanks to my love of fantasy, I'm interested in absolutely every game, this is why we tell people to get into fantasy as much as possible, just because it just gives you a reason to watch a god-awful game like, say, I don't know, the Raiders versus the Jets. Sorry.
Oh, shots fired. I like it.
So this is why we love fantasy. But the good thing about fantasy as well is you're bought in throughout the entire week. And what I was thinking would do is when I come on Sunday, we'll maybe just point out some of the issues that have just arisen, some of the last-minute chops and changes that you might want to do for your lineup. And if anybody has any questions, then by all means give us a shout-out either on your Twitter handle or on our Twitter handle. We can raise them when I call in.
Brilliant. What is your Twitter handle, Mart?
We're at Dundee NFL.
At Dundee NFL. So get those over to Martin at Dundee NFL, folks. Any fantasy questions and advice running up towards kickoff. Right then, Martin, what do you have for me, mate? I don't know whether you've seen this. As we've been sat in the pub having our burger before the matches, nice. Aaron Dobson is out for the New England Patriots. Add to that the fact that it's also being reported that Rob Gronkowski is going to receive limited snaps, and Tom Brady is playing despite the fact that he's only questionable. And you start to wonder about what the New England offense is going to look like tonight. So there's two ways you can look at this. You can either just run away from them entirely, or you can start considering playing your Stephen Ridleys. Maybe even Danny Amendola starts coming back into your mindset, because really Brady doesn't have too much else there. So I would actually think that Danny Amendola is a sneaky peak. You'll have got him low down in your drafts. So you really might want to consider him as a flex spot today. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do have Gronkowski in a couple of leagues, so I am now panic stations. What do I do?
Yeah, there's been a few like that. Cam Newton's also out.
He's out
and
now.
that has led me to drop Kelvin Benjamin. Well, I say it's out. The report is that he's not likely to play tonight, so that's not been confirmed definitely. But with that in mind, I had my eye on Kelvin Benjamin against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I figured a big guy like that, he's a nice target, he's a nice, safety net, if you will. Just hurl it close to him and he'll go up and get it. But if it's Derek Anderson throwing it instead of Cam Newton, then I'm a bit more concerned.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That does scare the life out of me, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Martin, just to lead off that question then. If no Newton, let's speculate on that for the moment, it's not certain. Would you consider any of the running backs then?
The problem with the running backs is you don't know who's going to hit.
Yeah.
You've got D'Angelo Williams there, you've got Jonathan Stewart, you've also got, he seems to be the forgotten man, but Mike Tolbert, who was the original fantasy vulture. They get down to 2 yards out, in comes Tolbert, barreling over the line. He's actually looking a bit more toned down, and I'm wondering whether they're going to put him more in as a running back. So you can never tell what you're actually hoping for, and I use hoping, obviously you're not hoping for injuries, but if one of the D'Angelo Williams or Jonathan Stewart goes down, then you've got at least a bit of a better idea of who's going to be starting, and you then might want to consider playing them. But to be honest, at this stage, you just don't know, and it would be such a gamble to play either Stewart or D'Angelo Williams that you're probably best just to avoid it.
Will do. Fantastic.
Another guy who's questionable, and this is for the Monday night games, and this is something I wanted to raise right at the start of the season because it comes up again and again. Andre Ellington is suffering from a bit of a foot injury, and we still don't know yet whether he's going to play Monday night. I've got him in one of my fantasy leagues. Luckily, I've also got Danny Woodhead on my bench. But sometimes you might have to find yourself making the decision before a Monday night game on a Sunday night. Do I play someone who's maybe not as good just to be certain I've got someone on the roster? Because come Monday night, if we find out that Andre Ellington isn't playing, you're left with a big fat zero, unless you're lucky enough to have a backup who also happens to be playing in that game.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it is tough. I've seen a few tweets regarding that. Everyone's in full panic mode. What do I do ahead of the Monday game? But yeah, like I say, do you take the zero and gamble, or tricky one there?
It is, and that's one of the joys of fantasy. It keeps you guessing all the way through the week.
Yeah, week one, stressed as hell already. It's not the best. It's not brilliant.
The last thing I wanted to point out, just a sneaky suspicion here, but I've got a feeling that the top scoring wide receiver this week may well be Cordarrelle Patterson. He's playing against the Rams. Greg Williams, as well as liking, shall we say, some interesting initiatives to try and inspire his players. He loves a blitz. So I can actually see the Minnesota Vikings even throwing this the kind of slant pass or screen pass that someone like Cordarrelle Patterson can take 8 yards.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye out for that. I've got a sneaking suspicion. You're playing him anyway, but he's my pick for one of the best players of the week this week.
Fantastic stuff. So right then, Martin. So just paint the scene for me now. Where are you? You mentioned you've been having beer and burgers, and it sounds quite windy, if I'm honest.
Oh, apologies. Let me see if I can shelter myself.
No, you're all right. It just sounds like you're...
Yes, we're about to make our way down to McDaniel's, a pub in Dundee, because the other host of our podcast, Simon, has come up quite a few miles to celebrate the start of the season with us. So there may well be a few alcoholic beverages consumed, followed by a few screams and shouts at the television. The thing that we didn't take into account was that the Scottish football team are playing Germany on a Sunday night in a European qualifier. So that's put a bit of a dampener, but McDaniel's have kindly offered to show the full NFL all night. So we've got a wee corner of Scotland dedicated to the NFL tonight.
That's fantastic stuff. Send out some pictures and stuff, and I'll be sure to retweet them as we go, and a shout out to everyone in the pub as well.
Guaranteed.
Brilliant stuff. Martin, I really, really appreciate this, mate. It's very good of you to jump on board and, let's say, add a little bit of class to this stumbling idiot this end.
No, it's good to hear that you're in pre-season form already, Mark. But it's a pleasure, and it's something I look forward to. I'm looking forward to as many questions as possible, and maybe growing a few fantasy leagues out of it as well. Yeah,
brilliant stuff. So that is Martin at Dundee NFL. Hit him up there. Any questions as you go? I shall leave you to go and enjoy your beer and burger.
Well, enjoy the rest of the show. I hope your technical problems ease up, and enjoy the first match of the year as well. I think you may well get your first win of the season. How's that?
I do hope so. Thank you very much, buddy. I shall check in with you during the course of NFL Sunday, and enjoy. Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Will do. Thanks so much. Fantastic stuff. Hopefully you guys learnt a little bit of something there. Bit of top advice from Martin Forrester. That is at Dundee NFL. Please go check those guys out. I was actually on their podcast, what is it now, about a month ago, just as this live show set up. So Martin's been very helpful in spreading the word about the show, and it's very good of him to offer his services on the fantasy front as well. Oh, just check in on Twitter. Sorry about the match previews, might have to leave those for a moment. Got a few tweets I want to play catch up with here before we get into this. Brilliant one, Will Davies. He does not miss a trick. This guy is on the ball. Great follow. What is that now? Not only a hat rack. I don't know how you pronounce that. Anyway, yeah, he said, when you mentioned Fantasy 5 at 5, I didn't think you meant 5 seconds. So, yeah, apologies for that. These fat sausage fingers pressed the wrong button. I did panic. I thought I'd pressed the button for close every single window down and gone off the air. I've got an abundance of messages here. Yeah, where are we? Yeah. Tom from Huddle, call me when you're ready, mate. And into, news. Bear with me, Tom. I just got to get through a few things here. Skype. Right then. T.Y. Hilton or Edelman. Biff Sweeney asks there. Get over Martin up at Dundee. Oh, another phone call. Hello.
Oh yeah, I'm just ringing in for the radio show.
Hi. Who's this?
Daniel.
Hi, Daniel. How are you? Mark here.
Cool. Your phone's ringing on the show now.
All right. If you've got me on in the background, you might have to mute down the app or something like that.
Hi, Daniel. How are you? Mark here.
Because I can hear myself.
That's it, yeah.
Brilliant. What can I do for you today, sir? What's on your mind?
What's on is a friend of mine has promoting the Raiders, and she's got a competition, and her tweet feed is at Claire the Bear 85. Right. And if you follow her, and retweet her competition, you can win a Raiders grab bag.
All right, brilliant stuff. So that is at Claire the Bear 85.
Yep.
Claire, I'll just come up now in the tweet that you sent me. Yeah, Claire Bear 85. Yeah. And
she's been doing this for a while, and she's been promoting it, and she's been. And so if you could do that for me, that would be great.
Yeah, I've got that there. So if everyone can go to that Claire de Bear 85 and retweet that, then what was that for again? Raiders.
It's a Raiders grab bag.
Raiders grab bag. So Raiders fans out there, if you're listening, go check that out and retweet that for me. It'd be much appreciated. That's
okay,
brilliant.
Cheers, mate.
I appreciate that, Daniel. Thanks for the call, mate.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, bye. And that was Daniel there. So fantastic stuff. Any Raiders fans listening, that was at Claire de Bear 85. You can win a Raiders grab bag there. So go and do that. That'd be much appreciated. Tom from Huddle. Tom, I am struggling to call out for some weird reason. Tom, message me. Is it okay? Can I get on Skype? Your Skype? Oh, let me just try this now. Call phone. No, it's not happening. Damn it. Oh, madness. Utter madness. 17 minutes left of NFL Sunday. Let's hope it is as frantic as this has been. Everyone that's called in today, brilliant stuff. We've had some great calls. I will jump back in on this, on the game previews in a moment. Oh, Tom, you're a star. How are you, Tom?
Hi, how are you, Mark?
I'm all good, mate. Bit flustered today, if I'm honest. We've had all sorts of shenanigans going on.
Good. Well, I've been listening in, and I like it when you're a bit flustered. It keeps it a bit more real.
Well, it's different. I'll be honest. It's a one-man operation. I'm trying to look in on Twitter. I've got the iPad with notes, and then I've got like this thing in front of me with everything that tells me where I am with the show, and then all stuff bumps up, and it's probably a two-man gig.
You need a producer, and I think Mrs. Teese is the ideal producer that you need.
Yeah, I could get the wife on board. She keeps coming in and just taking pictures and smirking and stuff.
Yeah, you need to get her in on a producer's role and get her fielding the calls and putting them through to you, helping out with some stuff.
That would be a good idea, actually, yeah. It'd cost me, though. I don't know if I could afford it.
Yeah, well, this is it. You've got to talk fees.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of football that we both watch, I think the missus's fees are quite high as it is.
It's funny you mentioned that. We went round town earlier on today, and it's like she's seen this picture for the bedroom. It's like, well, you're watching football from like 6 till 4. I'm like, yeah, you've got a good point. Well, we were getting sort of breaking news, if that's correct. Oh, we dropped the call. Something's gone on there. Tom, can you still hear me? You are still online. Apparently the sound has gone for some weird reason. I'm not sure if you can hear me. It's gone dead. My end. Tom, give that a try again, mate. I've had a bit of a nightmare today with Sky for some weird reason. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Oh, Tom's back. Hello, Tom.
Hi, mate. Sorry about that. It appears my Wi-Fi dropped out.
Yeah, I have to go wired. I do for these shows, because if you're just on normal Wi-Fi and you press Skype, it just kills it.
I mean, our Wi-Fi is good, so I mean, it's normally cool. But I mean, I've had to come into the kitchen to get somewhere quiet, and I think it's the distance from the Wi-Fi box that's causing problems. But I mean, do you want me to jump in with the news that I've got for you?
Yeah, jump in, mate. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Cool. Well, looking over at New Orleans and Atlanta, Falcons D saying that they love Rob Ryan, and you need to watch out for up-tempo packages over there. And the Saints are saying that the Atlanta Falcons, who have decided to go bigger, faster, stronger on defense over the summer to pump things up, the Saints are talking about possibly coming out and going no huddle from the start to test how big, fast and strong that D is.
Nice.
So that could prove for some interesting football over in the Saints-Atlanta game. Looking at Pittsburgh and Cleveland, Steelers defense have been practicing for Johnny Manziel all week. Mike Tomlin has said, and I quote, "You don't draft a guy like that and sit him on the bench." So Johnny Manziel may play a part in today's game, and if he does, Pittsburgh are potentially ready for him.
Do you think this could be a bluff just to waste some of the time, maybe, planning for him?
Possibly, I don't know, but I mean, I'd like to think Tomlin as a guy, probably, he's not going to have his D practicing for absolutely nothing, so I think he maybe thinks that Manziel might come in at some point, but that's a sort of something that we'll see as the day goes on. I told you I'd have news re Carolina and Tampa Bay regards Cam Newton's status, really. I mean, just to cover back on what was said in the Fantasy 5 at 5, Cam Newton's going to be a game time decision. He's not necessarily going to play today, but at the moment he's telling NFL Network that he feels good and he's good to go. So again, it's going to be a game time decision. Whether you choose to play Cam or sit him in your fantasy comes down to your personal. It's sort of whether your nerves will hold.
yeah, this is it with the fantasy lark. It's like I say, week 1, fingernails already gone.
Well, this is it. I mean, in Miami, New England v Miami, Gronkowski will play. How much he'll play is a different story, but his father's in Miami and has been spotted by NFL Network. Apparently, Papa Gronkowski doesn't turn up unless baby Gronkowski's going to play, so he will get snaps.
Yeah.
So, how much you play, again, is down to how much your fantasy nerves will hold. And Brady didn't practice Thursday, but according to Belichick and the coaching staff, that's down to the fact that there's a lack of depth at the position on the roster at the moment. Nothing more than that. He's good to go. And the last time that the Patriots, where Tom Brady practiced, but then played on a Sunday, is Thanksgiving 2010, and that was the last time he was questionable and then played. So a long time since that's happened to Tom Brady, and it'll be interesting to see if he bounces back the way that he did, because he absolutely annihilated their opponents on that Thanksgiving Day game.
Yeah.
Washington, Houston. Gruden's been talking about Robert Griffin III, and he said that the 3 keywords for this game for Robert Griffin III are to manage the game.
I thought he would have been learn to slide.
Well, but a lot of that's been said, and he said that he obviously needs him to play as the player that he is, and he's also talked about the fact that Russell Wilson is one of the great managers of the game, and that RG3 really needs to bring that into his game to be able to progress as a player and to put Washington in a position to be in the same sort of flight that the Seahawks are in. I think he's probably talking much further into the future at this moment in time, but there we are.
Russell Wilson, for me, looks wise beyond his years.
Well, this is kind of what Jay Gruden's saying, and he's kind of saying that he hopes that RG3 will kind of get with the plan and realise that that's the way things go, and that he really needs to manage the game better the way that Wilson manages the game. Brian O'Rakpo will play, as will Jordan Reed in Houston, and from the Texans side of things, they're saying that Jadeveon Clowney's the most pro-ready player that they've seen in a long, long time. They're concerned about his pass coverage, but they reckon they can mitigate that with other players. But other than that, basically, the Washington really needs to watch out for what Clowney's bringing.
Yeah, all they've got to do is just tell him go and chase the QB.
Yeah, basically, and he's going to hunt RG3, I think, all game long.
Yeah.
I mean, your Jets in Oakland, James Jones has been calling Derek Carr a mini A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers, so they're pretty confident with the way that Carr's going to start for the Raiders. But Antonio Allen, who you'll know is kind of corner turned safety, when he was asked whether Carr's going to target him, he's confidently said, maybe. Actually, I hope so.
Oh dear, I don't like that.
So I don't know how happy you are about that, but
I'm not happy.
Well, that was his quote to NFL Network today when he was interviewed by them.
At least he has not said he's the best corner in the league like D. Milliner did a few months back.
No, well, this is it. But I mean, my final bit of news, or bits of news, are the 9 o'clock or the 9:25 game, San Francisco, Dallas. A lot going on there. Ray McDonald, after his arrest, will play today. Right. He will start today. I think Harbaugh's kind of working on the best team available to win the game situation, and also the not proven guilty, therefore not guilty just yet mentality.
Fair enough.
So Ray McDonald will play, which will obviously add to the pass rush of that 49ers defense, and potentially, add a new dynamic that, perhaps people weren't confident would be the case with San Francisco's defense. Romo's fully fit, according to plenty of the players around him. Romo's fully fit. He's been throwing well. He's looking good. And as far as the San Francisco offensive starters have gone during the preseason, they wanted to play a lot more game time than they were actually given, and it was Coach Harbaugh that told them to take a seat. So whether they're going to be as far on as they were hoping that they would be, I'd suggest that players asking to play means that they perhaps feel that they need a bit more time, that they're not as confident in, how sharp they are, but, Harbaugh knows his stuff, and it would seem that he told them to take a seat in pre-season when they wanted to get a bit more game time.
Yeah, another rumbling out of the 49ers camp.
Well, I mean, there's other things coming out of the 49ers camp at the moment, but, I mean, there's talk of Harbaugh losing the locker room and that sort of stuff coming out of San Francisco today. But, I mean, according to, I think the last time the Patriots won the Super Bowl, I think Bill Belichick had lost the locker room, hadn't he? So yeah. I don't think we'll read too much into that kind of stuff. So.
Oh. Brilliant stuff, Tom. I appreciate the little update, mate. It's very good.
Yeah, no problem at all, pal. That's all the news, and we'll obviously be on Twitter all the way through the games. I'm going off to watch the Jaguars-Eagles games, as you'd expect, and pray for a miracle. And then I'll be watching probably with pretty much everybody else San Francisco, Dallas, just to see how that pans out.
Yeah, so that's one I'm going to be tuned into as well later on.
I think pretty much everyone fancies a look at that, because this could just be a massive shootout, and we could be looking at a score of 53-50 or something like that, the way things are looking. exciting. But
pretty much similar to that Broncos Cowboys game we had last year, was it?
To be honest, mate, I think it's going to go one or two ways. It's going to either be the greatest game where we get loads of scoring, or everyone's going to be really disappointed and it's going to end up like 14-7. Yeah. It can go one or the other, can't it? So, I mean, to anybody listening who's, listen to the news, we're at Huddle Magazine on Twitter if you want to talk through the games tonight. And our latest issue is out at huddlemagazine.com now to download, and we've got a great competition on at the moment for, if you purchase our season pass, not only will you get the 6 issues for the price of 5, but you'll also get entered into a competition to win one of our jerseys, a Wilson International Series or NFL ball, or we're also giving away a International Series game ball from the Vikings-Steelers game last season.
Nice.
Courtesy of Football America, who I know you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So, get over to us and get on that.
Fantastic stuff. Football America looking after a lot of British-based podcasts.
Football
and
America
sites,
are great guys.
Great
Everybody should get over there and at least give them a follow and see what they've got to do.
Yeah.
They're great guys over there.
Fantastic.
And just a little shout out to New Ola as well, who provide our jerseys, and we do a lot with them through the course of the season as well. So they're at New Ola Jerseys on Twitter as well. So get over to Football America and New Ola and give them a follow.
Brilliant stuff. Tom, you're an absolute legend, mate. Appreciate everything as always.
Not a problem at all. I'm just gutted I lost my 100% last week.
I know. It was one of them shows, wasn't it?
Oh, it's crazy, mate. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy that we've got 5 minutes still to go at your show, and I'm not making you race for the end soundbite.
No, I'm getting there now. Well, I don't know. That's up for debate. we start off smooth. No, we don't even start off smooth. The thing is, the first one I did, I sort of scripted the opening, and reading and that, keeping an eye on everything just didn't go well. So now it's like, just roll. Whatever pops in my head comes out. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, obviously I've read from notes when I've passed you that news that I've been making all afternoon. I just bullet point and
yeah,
go
that's
with the
what
flow.
I've been doing. Yeah, I've got like names in big block capitals, and I think that'll inspire a train of thought. Maybe
the problem is when you bullet point and you can't read what comes after the bullet point.
Yes, exactly.
and then you're quickly searching for in your memory, like, I remember that report. I remember reading that.
Yeah.
What did they say about that player?
Oh,
as I say, it's all good. I'm glad it's gone to an hour and a half. I'm glad things are going really well for you, mate.
Appreciate that, mate. Thanks to mainly yourself as well. I know you've been very active promoting us tonight. It's very, very much appreciated.
Yeah, as I say, mate, we're all about promoting as much as we can of the NFL in the UK. We work with a lot of other, not just yourselves, but a lot of other guys, and I'm always up for going on podcasts and stuff and doing interviews. So, I mean, anyone out there who's listening who's kind of got something that they're doing that perhaps isn't getting the attention that you'd like, give us a shout. We're happy to give you retweets and promote things and move things on and stuff. So, we do our bit, kind of thing. We're happy to try and grow things, not necessarily from the mainstream side of things. We try to grow the newer stuff coming through and perhaps widen the game and widen what the UK fan gets to listen to and see and hear and so on and so forth.
Yeah, likewise, I echo that. Yeah, anything you've got, send over to at Huddle Magazine or the show at Zone Coverage FS. Right then, Tom, let's keep this tradition going. I've got about 3 minutes left, and I shall wrap this up, and gives me a chance to make a brew and settle down and watch some football.
Cool. Have a good evening, mate, and I'll be keeping my eye on the Jets score, and I'll probably send you a few texts depending on how things are going.
Will do.
Catch you later, pal. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, Tom. Appreciate the call and everything as always, mate. Take care.
Yeah, no, the season's finally here.
Finally.
Cheerio.
Cheers, mate. Bye. Right then, couple of minutes left on the show. I did miss out a few previews because basically I sort of schedule for a 90-minute show. And the more people that ring in, the better in my eyes. I just cover my rear end by doing that. So, and to be fair, those previews I give out weren't all that good. But what I will do, I will give a few guys a mention and a shout out that have been active via the Facebook page, Twitter, and I've had a few DMs, a lot of praise, and that was a selfish pat on the back there. But yeah, a lot of nice comments and stuff coming this way regarding the show. So, Tom Marshall last week, he said he caught the entire show because I put out there, anyone stick with me for 90 minutes. He was doing the household chore, keeping the missus quiet ahead of the season. Will Davies also, the entire show, whilst little one was having dinner. Russell Duke, Simon Parkinson, also thanks for tweets, retweets and that throughout the course of the week. Scott Laurie, new follower, checked out the show, said you've got a new listener there, so welcome aboard, Scott. Charles Alder said he'd be checking out the show, as did Will Cornish. Cameron at C4R Min, he's been very active, Seahawks fan, really nice guy, been talking to him a lot over the course of the last few days. David Taylor, massive shout out to David Taylor, give him a follow at the Equinox. It's the _Equinox. 2 X's on the end of that. EQUINOXX. Check out some of the great stuff David's doing. Dave, you've been an absolute star, been corresponding via email there. Appreciate that. Irish Bolts as well. They were in touch the other day. New follower as well. Welcome aboard. Steve Owens, Ian AF72, also on Twitter. Right then, I think that pretty much wraps it up. As you can possibly tell, the excitement, madness and all that has got way too much for me this week. We are back next week, what is it, usual time now, same old rambling nonsense, 4 till 5:30 p.m, you know the drill. Go to iTunes, I can go over 90 minutes, sod it. Go to iTunes, Stitcher Radio, you'll find us on there, leave us ratings, feedback. Contact the show at Zone Coverage FS. Email us as well if you want to do it privately and stuff. Zone Coverage Football Show at mail.com. Don't be shy. If there's features you don't like or you've got features, ideas, I'm happy to steal them, in fairness. Want to give you guys something that's entertaining, fun. Keep trying to trip me up with video calls and calls dropping off air. Keeps me on my toes and I'd say polishes up my hosting skills. I don't think no matter what happens there, that'll never happen. Also, I need someone to teach me the English language, judging by that last sentence I put out. What else have we got here? TuneIn, Spreaker apps, iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, Twitter. That is that. I am going to hopefully cheer on my beloved Jets. Everyone, wherever you are, thank you for tuning in. You guys are absolutely awesome. Continue spreading the word. The banter on Twitter and that this morning's been fantastic. Thank you again for tuning in and spreading the word. If you are new, hopefully you enjoyed this rambling fool. And then we shall see you next week. Same time, same place. Go and enjoy the first one. There's no more Sundays without NFL until second week in February. How awesome does that sound? So hopefully you've earned your brownie points throughout the week and go enjoy football. It is back. Have an awesome time. Give me a few moments to find my bearings on Twitter. I will respond to everyone that's tweeted me over the last 90 minutes and beyond. We are rolling into 92 minutes. I can actually go for a bit longer, but I will save your ears from this. Shout out to Martin Forrester for doing the Fantasy 5 at 5. That is at Dundee NFL. Also Daniel Rungin. Biff provided us with Comedy Genius via the monitors, video calls and stuff. Ron, Daniel as well, set the competition for Raiders fans. Claire de Bear 85, go check that out. Tom, as always, Huddle. I'm going because I'm just going to repeat myself over and over again. Have an awesome Sunday. And remember, guys, hustle, hit, and never quit. I'm done.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. Unable to listen live? We've got that covered. Simply search the Zone Coverage Football Show in either iTunes or Stitcher Radio. And don't forget to subscribe. All our shows and details on how to call into the show can be found on the website www.zonecoveragefootballshow.com.